So what are we doing today?
We're going to be talking about going full-time on YouTube.
Because you're going full-time on YouTube is the bottom line.
Yeah, I think especially now, a lot is changing. A lot of people are working from home. So now it's kind of a possibility for more people to start doing remote job and just do what they want, kind of more.
Yeah.
If they're not in a lockdown, of course. So it's a new possibility.
It's funny that you put it that way because I never thought of it this way before. I have worked out of my home for a long time. My job involved a lot of travel, and my company was based in California. I was based in Atlanta, and they were like, "Well, we don't care," you know. And so when I transitioned to YouTube, the path that I took was doing a lot of work from home and having the spare time because I wasn't in an office to also work on the YouTube channel. And it was probably 3 years of that before I went full time. But it's interesting you point out that maybe a lot of people are in this situation right now where they're working from home. Maybe they have some spare time and they're thinking about going this direction.
Yeah, it's a really big difference because there's a lot of people who are like going to work, spending a lot of time in the traffic and so on. And then they're like, I don't have time to do it. And at the same time, I just remember that I always felt lucky because my boss was also like, I don't care what you do with your life as long as the job is done. Mm-hmm. So I had time to just do my stuff, just sit here for like 4 hours straight, do it, and then do the YouTube stuff and all the other things that I wanted to do. So it's a different situation than when you have to sit in the office for 8 hours.
So I guess I'm gonna let you drive the conversation because like, what do you want to know?
Yeah. Okay. So maybe start with a background. I was thinking about it for more than a year right now because I was always thinking like, my job is not necessarily what I want to do. I wanted to do FTV. I wanted to do content creation. I wanted to do all of those things that were super cool. And then I was stuck in my one job and I was thinking, maybe I should say no to it. And then Corona happened. So all of my other jobs, like all the filming or the photography and all the other stuff was just gone. All of the public speaking was gone. All of this was canceled. And my programming job was the only job that I had. And I was like, well, now I'm going to stay.
Yeah, right.
Like there's nothing else I can do right now. Yeah.
Suddenly you appreciate it a little more, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Corona is just going and going and going. Here we have a partial lockdown right now. And actually in my today's video, I said like, soon the next one, I will be finally out of partial lockdown. And waiting for you, I just saw Angela Merkel saying that, well, no. So we'll still be in a partial lockdown for up until December, I think. And it just made me think about all the things that are important in life because Corona was really the time for me to think and rethink stuff. And I thought I don't want to waste my life doing stuff that I don't want to do. And it's a scary decision to just go full time on YouTube and stuff. But at the same time, it's something that I want to do. Now, I was always telling everyone, do what you want to do what you love and everything. And I was not doing it myself. And kind of sucks, you know?
I mean, it's tough to make that decision because at the end of the day, you still have to pay the bills. You still have to eat. And to be able to make that jump and just say, I'm going to go for it. I mean, there's a chance, you know, who knows where you could end up. But, you know, on the other hand, sometimes you have to make that jump. I guess that's where you're at right now, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I was just, you know, trying to think about it, trying to make a decision. I got myself like a decision deck for 25 questions, what I should answer to make a good decision, and all the other stuff that probably people are doing when they want to do stuff like this. And then I got stuck at what other people think about your decision. And I thought, if I would ask my mom, she would be like, no, get yourself a safe job. But if I ask someone who actually knows, like, did this jump, then it's a different story. And this is when I thought, hey, we know each other, we're friends. I'm going to just ask you. Maybe you know things that I haven't thought about. Because I'm in a lucky situation in which I can allow myself a little buffer right now to just do this jump and just see how it goes.
Well, so let me tell you how I made the transition because and then that'll explain why my advice is useless. No, I'm exaggerating. So I was doing
Right.
YouTube for 2 to 3 years in my spare time while working from home. And I ended up making the transition when I looked at my income from YouTube, and it was about the same as what I was making in my day job. And I was like, well, I mean, it's nice to make twice as much money, but I would like to have all the time to focus on the YouTube 100%. And that is a really lucky position. I would say if somebody's thinking about going full-time on YouTube, that's the way to do it. But a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Because that's also a thing. Like, you want to focus on YouTube only, but you do this other thing. And for me, it's like I'm not focusing enough on what I'm doing. And then I feel like as much effort I put into the things that I'm doing, those are my results. So if I'm not putting much effort, I don't get much results.
Right. Although it's true that, especially with YouTube, especially in the beginning, and you're lucky that you're not in the beginning. How many subs are you at now?
15,100 something. Yeah.
I feel like in my growth as a channel, the first 100 subs are people really struggle. Somewhere around 1,000 subs, it's like you sort of graduate, and then somewhere around 10,000 subs, you graduate again. So you're already past 10,000 subs, so that's good. You have enough viewership that there is potential for you to monetize somehow. Whereas if you have 100 subs, like, no one really cares. Like, advertisers and people who are going to give you money, your audience might love you, but the ability to make money is very limited because you have such a small reach. But I think a thing to think about then is the work that you're putting in. Is it what is it contributing to? Is it contributing to, and at the end of the day, is it contributing to making money? Because if you don't make money, eventually you have to do something else. So I guess the question then is, like, what are your income streams? Like, you don't have to give me like numbers and stuff. I'm not trying to get nosy, but like, ad revenue is one of them. Probably a small chunk, I'm guessing.
It's
what
not
else are
much.
your income streams?
Well, actually, to be honest, YouTube revenue is paying for my music subscription.
That's it, pretty much.
Yeah, music subscription and one other subscription for like TubeBuddy and stuff. So yeah, that's mostly it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's not much.
What else? Do you have a Patreon?
Yes, I do have a Patreon. We have a really nice Discord chat. People are really helpful there, and we talk almost every single day, starting with FPV,
Awesome.
finishing with pizza. So
Nice.
it's also nice to just have someone to talk to every single day, especially now. I also have the affiliation, of course, and I do deals with brands. Some brands pay me for making reviews.
Yeah.
And good thing is, I say, like, I don't like your product, and I'm going to say it. So it's not like I'm being paid to say your product is great. I don't do it. We actually have a problem now with Beta FPV. I got pretty unlucky. And they agreed for me to say all the things that happened. So we're fine with it. And this is how I want to be. I want to be really honest with my audience. And if someone would say you cannot post it, I would be like, well, then we don't have a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, ultimately, I think if you lose your integrity, if your audience thinks you've lost your integrity, it all can sort of melt away.
Yeah, exactly.
The brand deals are a thing that you do. I've seen didn't you have some kind of you did a road trip with your Tesla? Was that, I don't remember if that was paid or not. You had some kind of sponsorship for that.
Yeah, it is. But it was more like we did the videography stuff. I made some footage for their ads. And I did set like, hey, we're doing this trip with them, just to, give some kind of a background for it. I wasn't really paid to make a video and say super awesome things about the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a trip.
Yeah.
It's like visiting Orca.
So
You've
got 4 income streams then that we've identified so far: the ad revenue, affiliate, Patreon, and brand deals. I
also sell my products.
And your products, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I do have a sale on stickers now because I got a new logo. But yeah, I do Lightroom presets for Instagram stuff for people who really want to have their style of pictures like me. And I also wrote 2 ebooks about growing on social media.
I saw
organically and nicely, how to make a business out of your YouTube and actually saying that you don't need as much subscribers to actually make it happen.
Is it a little terrifying right now?
Yeah,
Because,
it is
like,
kind of.
you wrote this book, How to Grow Organically, and now, whoops, right into it.
Well, the thing is, I actually got a lot of comments when I said that I did. Like, how can you even make a book like this if you have such a small following? My friend has like 50,000 subscribers and doesn't say a thing about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but with my following, I managed to do jobs like public speaking. I secured jobs as public speaker. I was in media. I was doing media stuff for other companies in photography. I made a business out of it without a big following, which is totally possible. And this is what the book is actually talking about.
So you identify the income streams, right? The revenue streams. And then I think what I like to do is I think about which of those have the most potential to make money for the least amount of work, which is just working efficiently. I feel like some of those are foundational. Like, to me, I think that, like, I spend like 2 to 3 hours a day answering messages, which is a lot of people who are on YouTube don't do that. But I feel like having that one-on-one connection with my audience is really valuable. And I think they value it too. And to me, that feels like the foundation of all the other stuff. You said you like spending time on the Discord server and connecting with people. So that really...
Well, I'm also answering every single comment. I'm answering every single message on Instagram. Sometimes when I wake up, it's like 50 and I just go. Some people actually message me like, oh my God, you really answered. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah. Always. Whoever sends me an email gets an answer. Whoever sends me a comment or whatever. Sometimes I'm even answering bots. Like, someone told me like that was a bot, and I was like, oh.
I wasted my time. Yeah, I feel like there absolutely are people who are successful that don't do that. And in fact, I don't think you can be like, you can be at 10,000, maybe you could be at 100 or 200,000. But by the time you're at 5 million, I just don't, you can't do that. So eventually you have to figure something else out. But I think one of the simplest things somebody can do at the beginning is to, like, I used to literally respond to every YouTube comment. I was just like, every single comment I'm going to respond to. And I feel like that's a good place to start, because the people really respond to that. They don't expect it. They really respond to it. And you can translate that into money.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I was setting up my YouTube channel, I was actually thinking that every single time I'm commenting or messaging some kind of a person that I'm looking up to, I never got an answer for anything.
Yeah.
Once I got an answer and I got so excited, I made screenshots and I showed them to like everyone. But I thought that I don't want to be this kind of a person, and I just will answer every single person. So I know that there will be a stop for it. Probably one day, eventually.
One day, yeah.
But until then, I love doing that. And you meet so many cool people.
The other thing that I do is I post a lot. So how many videos do you post? Oh, like a week?
Two a week, plus 2 pictures on Instagram. Plus daily stories, of course.
A simple way to increase YouTube revenue is to post more often. So I feel like there's definitely channels out there that do highly produced content, and maybe they post once a week or maybe less. But I feel like the 2 a week is you might, like, I don't have any deep insight into the algorithm, but I feel like YouTube would like more than that. And the challenge will be finding, well, and if you, let's say it takes you 3 days to make a video, maybe it takes 2.5 days to make a video. So you do 2 a week. You can't make 4 videos a week if they're all 2.5 days. There just aren't enough hours in the week. So if you're always making similar types of, like, there's some tutorials I do where I'm like, oh, I could just bang that out in 5 minutes and it's still a good tip. There's still meat there. Like, there has to be something there, but there's hard videos to make and there's easy videos to make. And if you can mix in some of the easy ones, sometimes you can get 2 or 3 of those done in a day, and then you have content to add to. That may not work for you, but I think 2 videos a week, if you're trying to grow, feels light to me. Of your revenue streams, which do you think is the one that is the best use of time in terms of making money? Like,
I think affiliate links would go
Okay.
first. Now that Corona hit, usually I would put the media stuff.
yeah, sure.
Not now.
Do you get responses when you post affiliate links? Do they get clicks?
Yeah, they usually do. I'm using the Bitly
Good, excellent. Yeah, so you
to
know.
check it. Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the day, you know how much money you get from the affiliates. You're like, so you can kind of know if it's working or not. So I resisted affiliate links for a long time, and one day I was like, well, let's give it a try. It was a big part of the reason why I was able to go full time. So if you feel like you can manage the ethical sort of integrity part of recommending products and having affiliates while still not feeling like you're selling out, there is a lot of potential there. How about call to action? So I think one of the things I try to do with my videos is I ask myself, if there was one thing they did as a result of watching this video, what would it be? And I try to drive to that thing. So like at the top of all of my video descriptions is a link to my website and a call to action, so that every time you look at one of my videos, instead of seeing a description of the video, you see that.
I actually find it really hard to call people to action. It just feels always weird to be like, hey, support me on Patreon or subscribe to my channel. It kind of feels like weird. It's really hard to just say, hey, guys, I made a product. Would you like to buy it? That would help a lot and stuff like this. It's really hard. And actually, we had a conversation today on Discord about some YouTubers just, putting the ads of other companies and just being like, thank you for sponsoring this and this. And I was like, guys, that they need to make money.
Right.
But I understand that it's annoying, but at the same time, you can just skip it.
Yeah, so here's one way I work around that. One way I work around that is that I put the call to action in the video description. So either it will be links to the product, or it will be a link. Every one of my videos starts with confused about what to buy, check out the FPV. I don't know if that's the exact wording, but that's the beginning of the description. So then in the video, I'll say, and if you want to know about this other thing, there's a link to that video down in the description. And then I've never actually said, subscribe to my Patreon, et cetera, but you have to scroll past it to get to the thing you want.
Yeah.
You have to maybe you have to notice it. So that's a way to get around that if you don't want to, but I think you have to find a way to get over that. Like every video, just about every video should have some call to action in it. Because if like the video is what you're producing and you're giving and they're consuming and they're enjoying. So then the question is, what are you going to get out of that? And not to make it like cutthroat and transactional, but at the end of the day, if you can't make money and you can't eat and pay the rent, then you can't make videos.
Yeah, exactly.
So there has to be a way to put some call to action, whether it's subscribe, check out my book, join my Patreon, and there's just got to be some way for you to feel good about it. I always put it at the end, because I figure if you watched all the way to the end, you probably got a lot out of the video. And so it's fair for me to then, I don't like it when people put it at the beginning. It's
it feels kind of like you're pushing it. But I liked your, I think I saw your outro where you opened the fridge and you asked people to join your Patreon. I was just like, okay, that's good.
Yeah. So that's the what is it? The end cards.
Yeah.
You can put that in I think the end cards, you use end cards on your videos?
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's easy because most people will have clicked away anyway. And anybody who's watched all the way to the end probably isn't going to be too annoyed by it. So you can put your Patreon there. YouTube will let you do that. Links to other videos. And of course the subscribe call to action. And then you don't have to do it in every video. So they just know that it's there.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just hard to, push it there. Like put it and be like, hey, I have
why
this.
is it hard? Well, yeah, why is it hard?
Tell me
about that.
It just makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just psychological, maybe, that you don't want to ask people like, hey, give me money.
Yeah.
because it feels weird, and it's just kind of psychological barrier of doing it. It's like, you know, that you need to fend for yourself, and this is what you are always being told.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm kind of doing it, but it kind of, you know, everyone tells you like, find yourself a real job, and you're like,
I mean, I think a lot of people and a lot of entrepreneurs, not just YouTubers, suffer from this. I mean, I hear stories of people who a customer owes them money and it's like 60 days past due, and they're like, just go tell them you need to pay me. And they're like, oh, I don't want to be mean or rude, or it just feels weird to ask for money. Whereas
Sure.
like when you go to a restaurant, it's all, you know, the drill. You get the food, they bring the check, you pay the check. Nobody has to feel awkward about it.
yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I think that's just something that you got to figure out how to get through. Because without the people are like, well, sometimes they say it sounds like you're begging to me.
Yeah,
they say,
exactly.
like
and then
begging.
you feel weird.
And I'm like, I mean, like, without the call to action, an explicit call to action, it's so much fewer people are going to do whatever it is you need them to do. And ultimately, you have to get something back from making the content, whatever you decide that is. So.
But it's the same, like someone told me that books are so expensive, and the book was like €5, and I was like, dude, you go to Starbucks, you leave €5 there for a cup of a coffee, and that's fine. But the book, for which someone really spent like months and years to do, it's too expensive. Because I think maybe it's type perspective thing, maybe, and I think it's really hard just for creators because they also have it like, oh, I wouldn't pay $5 for a book.
How about your Patreon? Is your Patreon, how would you consider that to be, you know, is that where you would like it to be? I guess is what I'm saying.
I would like, but I don't know how to promote my Patreon really. It's like the hardest.
Yeah. Why is it the hardest?
Because whenever I feel like I have a newsletter and I'm leaving there like, you can join our Patreon and blah, blah. And it's like no one clicks it. Like I have a separate bit.ly for a newsletter, and there's a lot of people clicking, but no one is joining. I actually had one guy who messaged me and said, hey, do you have OnlyFans? Because I want to support all the girls in FPV. And I was like, no, but I do have a Patreon and you can totally join it support girls in FPV. You know, he never did.
You should start an OnlyFans and it's just pictures of quads.
No, I was thinking about really putting OnlyFans with pictures of fans only, and I would be looking at those fans like in the store, or I would take a fan outside with me. It was an idea. Like I was talking with Onigiri about it. She said like, I want to take this idea to the next level. She was like, I'll be doing pictures of fans, and in description I will be just leaving how to make really nice pictures of fans.
Yeah. You may get subs, but you won't keep them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to promote, whether it's your Patreon or whatever. Like with Patreon, what I've done is my Discord server is patrons only. I think most people don't do that.
Mine too.
Oh, it is. Okay, perfect. So you also live stream. So I take questions from the chat because I don't want people. I feel bad if like people are like, Bardwell won't talk to me unless I pay him. I've never done that. I've never felt good about that. And I think it's worked out well for me. But I also have the Discord up, and I say, these people in the Discord, I say, look, I'm going to be taking questions from the chat. These people over in the Discord are my patrons. If you want to join them, there's a link down in the description, and then move on, and you can leave me super chats. So in that case, like, it's not explicitly a call to action, but just mentioning that patrons get this benefit. If you're not comfortable begging, then
yeah, exactly.
just mentioning is better than nothing. Saying, and part of it is finding creative ways to mention things and to work them in with a segue. Like, I just tried this thing from my book, my ebook. If you want to know more about it, it's down below. I think the thing about the way to, I guess, maybe make it feel less like it's begging is to present it as a value for them. So you're not asking them to do you a favor, you're offering them something, and it just so happens that you get something back. Maybe that's a more comfortable way to do it. Subscribing is just, I guess you could even do it with subscribing. Like you could, like my favorite segue to subscribing is done by a YouTuber, Linus Tech Tips. I don't know if you watch him. He says, we're doing this video. Oh, and we've also got this other video coming up. So get subscribed and hit the bell if you don't want to miss that. And like that feels so non-intrusive. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to miss that. I'll subscribe. I don't know.
Yeah, that feels right. I think that this is just a psychological thing.
Yeah. So,
But no, it's also hard because some of the people, I actually started looking at my analytics. It was saying like 30% of people who are watching me are actually subscribed. And I was like, oh, that's really low. So I started doing like, hey guys, if you are not subscribed yet, check it out. And then it turned out that some people actually said, you know what? I was seeing your videos on all of the Facebook groups and I was watching every single one of them. I had no idea I was not.
Your thumbnails are, you put a lot of work into your thumbnails. Most of your thumbnails have your face in them. I think that's very good. Yeah, I actually
saw that it works well.
Yeah. You don't do the thing that people do where they pull stupid faces, which is probably bad for your analytics, but good for your humanity.
Good for my humanity. Yeah. I don't want to do too many clickbaity things. Like no. I did a couple like clickbaity. It wasn't really a clickbait. Like I had a video that I crashed into a plane. Okay. And I actually did crash into a plane, but the plane was on the ground and it was a drone race that had the plane as an obstacle. And I really did crash into a plane. It destroyed everything. Yeah. Like there was nothing left. Even FC was bent.
Well, I mean, technically you crashed into a plane. I bet people were still mad about it though.
Yeah, they were. I got so many comments like, this is such a clickbait. Blah, blah. Yeah, and I was like, I did crash into a plane.
One of the things I've learned is that it doesn't matter how honest you are about what's in the video. It's what people think is going to be in the video. If they think that something's going to be in it and then it's not there, they're mad. And you're like, I literally told you in the title what was in the video. And it doesn't matter. They just are mad that their expectations were not met.
What a clickbait. So, oh my God.
I noticed I'm looking at your videos page now. One of the things that is valuable to do is when you're making your thumbnail, zoom way out to the size it's going to be on screen. And you can have a thumbnail that's beautiful. And then when you zoom it out, like the one I'm looking at right now is Results Haunted by Videos Challenge and Contest 1 week ago.
That thumbnail is not good.
I've seen that thumbnail bigger and it's a very nice picture. But when you zoom it all out, it just looks like a dark blob. Whereas the ones with your face in it is really good. Those are really good. I love Destructive Air Crasher FPV Drone Racing, where you're kind of like, I think those are really, really catchy. You have a consistent look too, so people know when they see one of your videos. So then I guess the next place my head would be at is I would be thinking, how much am I making? And how much do I need to spend to like pay my bills? And then like try to come up with a plan, right? To try, here's what I'm going to do. I mean, if you're lucky, then you're making twice as much as you need and everything's good. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if you need to get from point A to point B, you would be like, okay, I'm going to do, a Q&A. I'm going to do a tutorial video. I'm going to do something additional or something extra and try and see how that, if that produces results and try and sort of push to get to that point, whatever that might be. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good advice. I usually go with whatever works. I will do more of this.
Well, what's working now?
Actually, reviews got me pretty high. Some people were like, oh, I never saw a girl doing reviews. That's so cool. So maybe that's something to be in. But at the same time, I want to just show the beauty of FPV, some other stuff with it connected, some things that no one else is showing. Like from races, that was also my thing. Like when you see racing videos, you usually see a DVR of the quickest lap and how many times you can watch the same thing from other people, because it's the same thing and it's DVR. And I was doing those vlogs out of, how it looks like behind the scenes and everything like this. And I really love doing that. There's a lot
Yeah.
of community. There's all of those really cool things happening. And it's not just, look, guys, I made a quick lab. I'm awesome.
How do you think that translated to views and to revenue?
It actually did well.
Yeah.
Especially during the traveling. Yeah, if when I was traveling to China or to Turkey for the races, stuff like this, that was really catching. People are really interested on how it really looked like, because you see a lot of those DVRs, but you don't see how it really looked like everywhere else, what you guys were doing. And a lot of people are actually going to my channel not for flight, because, well, let's be honest, I'm not the fastest.
I liked the Train Insane series. I thought that was a great way of, I mean, I had my 3 packs a day where you just say, look, I'm not the fastest, but let's let you have an insight into the training process. And then at the end, you're better, and people can really identify with that.
Yeah, and that's also really working well. I like it. But at one point, I also felt like how many times people can see my field.
Right. Well, I don't have anything to say about that.
Yeah. It just feels kind of awkward. But I also made this video on how to become a better pilot, how to be better at drone racing. And this actually, I think it has like 5,000-6,000. People liked it, but I understand that people don't want to listen to me because I'm not the fastest pilot out there. I'm not a super pro, but I'm just a person who's on an adventure.
Here's what I have to say about that. There's pilots out there who are extremely fast and who are no good at explaining to other people how to get better. So the skill of doing something and the skill of explaining it are different skills. And the skill of making a video that people want to watch is a different skill. You could watch Min-Chan do laps all day long and you probably wouldn't learn a damn thing. So you can lean into the skills that you have. You don't have to be the best. I mean, you're a good pilot and you have insights into how to train that are valuable insights. I do think playing to beginners in terms of educational content is a safe bet. If you make content for people at the top of a field, you have a much smaller audience who need those answers. So if you look, people who talk to beginners, they usually just sort of cast a wide net. People who talk to experts usually charge a lot of money because there's just fewer customers. As far as product reviews go, I mean, do you have a schedule? Do you have an editorial calendar?
Yeah, I just do everything Tuesdays and Thursdays, uploaded 7 p.m. Central European time. So that's my calendar. Whatever I'm gonna do, it has to be done by then.
Yeah. Have you planned it out in advance though?
Yes. I have a little pile of things to review.
Okay, good. I mean, I do think the reviews are great.
Safe bet.
Moneymakers. People, and for every person out there watching this who is like, I hate it when people just do reviews and shill products. You are lying. Reviews get so many views. Everyone wants to know about new products. So
it's true. Hey, every time I'm about to buy a new camera, I'm just going through the reviews of everyone that I like. I
do it too. Yeah.
And I know some of them are boring, but I just still watch it because I want to know.
Well, and reviews are so I think a solid plan for making money on YouTube, once you have a little bit of an audience, is that you build on a foundation of one way to do it is you build on a foundation of product reviews and affiliate links. Like that is a way to sort of build up a solid base. With affiliate links, the other thing to keep in mind is that once they click the link, you get a cut of anything they buy. So, and I've made, people don't know how they work. I've made a point of telling my subscribers, you can, so if you click the link and make your purchase, I get it. And people come to me and they're like, hey, can you give me an affiliate link? I'm about to make a big purchase. So you kind of have to train the viewers a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you review a bad product, you can say this is a crap product, but there's a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. And you can, you don't want to buy this, buy something else.
Well, I have a couple of reviews when it's a cool product for beginners, not for me. I cannot find a use for that.
Yeah. I don't know. We've talked for almost an hour. I guess, have we, what do you think?
I think it's a tough decision. It's just always, this big step. But at the same time, I know that I have to work on this. And I actually think that what would be the best for me, as you said, teaching people and teaching beginners, I was thinking actually about making like a video course or something like this on how to train for drone racing or how to start flying, things like this.
Love it. And you could...
I think it would be cool.
Yeah. You could do it in the simulator too if you can't get out. I mean, practicing in the sim is totally valuable, and all you need is a screen recorder.
Yeah, and I could make like a whole like video university, something like this. You can do it on like Teachable, something like
Teachable.
this. Yeah, and just make like PDFs with ideas of the tracks, what to train, why, how to do it, and like sit here for 3 hours and do it. I know it's boring, but do it.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic idea.
But the question is how to sell it.
Well, so I think there's an established model, the sort of ClickFunnels model, which you were in marketing, you know it. You put it up on Teachable and you start with some kind of a hook, a PDF, 3 tips for drone racing better. And then you get them in the funnel and eventually they spend. But the problem is that people in FPV are so freaking cheap. Like, not all of them, but most of them. There's some people who are kind of whales. They got a lot of money and they'll just spend money on anything, but they're so cheap. So asking them to spend, you can't sell an ebook for $5, never mind a video course for $100 or $200. So
actually, I was working for one company. I won't say the name. That was FPV as a social media manager. The amount of messages we got every day about can I get a free product was insane.
Yeah.
It was really eye-opening experience though.
Yeah. Nobody wants to, they don't. And if they're like, well, why would I buy to your course for $200 when I could buy a whole new drone? It's like, okay. Yeah. So my philosophy is give it all away for free. My philosophy is give it all away for free, all the content. And then just say, hey, do you want to join my Patreon? And so many people value it. I mean, granted, it's now like almost 5 years later and I've been doing it every day for 5 years. So, I mean, it did start out that way, but it grew. And that seems like a good fit for the FPV market, at least in my opinion. If you put out that series as a playlist or something on your channel, and then you can promote it, but then there has to be like some kind of call to action. Or you could maybe have some of the videos behind Patreon, but just, it feels like pulling teeth to get people to do that. You give them something for free and then you ask them for $1 and they're like, yeah, okay, here's $1. But if you ask them for the $1 up front, they will not do it. I don't know. That just seems like the way they are. Have you ever thought about doing pay what you want for your ebook? Just release it. They're all pirating it anyway, but just put in it. Say, look, if you value this, here's my.
But that's an idea.
I don't know.
That's an idea. I can just list it for €1 and say whatever you want to pay, put it in the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be something. It would be an interesting experience for sure.
All right. Well, I got to wrap up. I hope it was helpful.
It was actually. I have a couple of ideas.
Okay. I wish you the best. I remember the first day that I had quit my job. I got up. I went. I had a nice brunch out somewhere, just to celebrate the fact that I didn't have to go to school today, and it just felt like the whole world was open. I could do whatever I want with my day, and it was such a cool feeling. And now that's where you're at. You could do whatever you want. So just figure out what that is, and hopefully other people will come along.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for the talk, though.
Oh, thank you.
It helps.
It was really fun. It was really fun. Yeah, cool.
We should continue on that one day.
Yeah, well, we're going to do something else. I don't know what it is. We're going to do we're going to put this on my channel we talked about, and we'll do some other kind of collab for your channel. We'll put it together. But in the meantime, if you've watched this video all the way to the end, an hour later, and you're into Lexie's content, then you should go subscribe to her Patreon or check out her ebook about how to grow your channel, or all those other calls. Definitely subscribe to her channel. All those other calls to actions that she won't. I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll do an outro card for your channel. All right.
Yeah, and totally subscribe to Joshua if you're not already.
Yeah, practice doing it for other people's channels.
I'm really good with doing this for other people. Like, we have a podcast with Onigiri, and I'm the first one who says, you should totally go and subscribe to Onigiri and to our podcast, Instagram. Yeah. It's Onigiri & Co. We talk about weird stuff. It's a girl FPV talk. Yeah.
Do you think that's, I'm not trying to stereotype. I've heard that that's more of a thing with women, that they're sort of not, guys are like, give this to me, I deserve it. And women are a little more likely to feel uncomfortable just saying, I need this, can you pay me? Or whatever. I don't know.
We actually had a really big topic about it with Onigiri.
Yeah.
Podcast. It's a thing, and it's actually connected with how we are raised. We actually discussed it a lot, and I used to be a teacher in school for IT, and I saw my fair share of how it looks like in reality and how it looks like in what I'm telling myself.
Yeah. A little bit of cognitive distortion there.
Yeah.
What it feels like versus. Yeah. That's tough. Well,
yeah,
I don't think I'm
I
not
was lucky though.
Yeah.
Because my dad never told me you have to do this because you're a girl. My mom never told me you have to do this because you're a girl. Actually, the first time it happened was in school when the guys were doing models, and I was told that girls have to do cakes for the guys who do models. And I was like, I want to do models. I don't want to bake a cake. And I was like really arguing with the teacher. I was 8. So imagine 8-year-old Lexie doing, I don't want to bake a cake. And yeah. I finished at the principal's office. And I came back home and I went to my mom and I was like, they told me I have to bake a cake because I'm a girl. What the hell? And my mom actually went to principal and the teacher and everything. And I was doing models all the other lessons. But still, that was my first experience with you have to do this because you're a girl. And I was so shocked. My mom said that for a week. I was shocked.
Yeah. There's a lot that you internalize. Like I have kids. I have 2 kids. And one day, you just look and they're doing something and they got it from you. And it's something like, I'm trying to think of an example and I'm totally blanking. But it's just, they're just like sitting the way you sit, right? Or they say some word and it sounds just like when you just suck all this stuff in and internalize it, even if it's not explicit. There's a lot there. So anyway, but then you spend the whole rest of your life, trying to get rid of it. I don't know. All right. Nice talking to you, Lexie.
Yeah, nice.
I wish you the best. I wish you the best. I'll check. I'm curious to see how it goes. See you in 2-3 months. Hope those stats are going up.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you very much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You guys, I don't know where I am, and I don't know what's going to happen, but if I don't make it out of this, I just want to know that you subscribe to my channel, or maybe join my Patreon, or click one of these videos I picked out for you.